Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Om
Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvadidam Gagana Sadrisham तत्त्वमस्याधिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतम् भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. Nithyananda, we welcome all of you for today of the 7th day of the Navami Brahmotsavam, entering into 7 days of the auspicious celebrations of Bhagavan Sri Rama, celebrating which Kailasa is celebrating in all its de facto spiritual embassies across the globe. All Kailasians are celebrating across the globe. All Hindus are celebrating the Ramanavami Brahmotsavam across the world with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And so now today, as you all may already be aware, we are entering into the 7th day of the Ramanavami Leadership Program series, where we are covering the wide range of topics, starting from understanding the purpose of our life, how to become leaders in our life, how to live the various principles of responsibilism in our day-to-day life, so that we learn how to become leaders, we learn how to become role models for the people around us, taking the direct life examples from Sri Ramachandra Prabhu and from the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism. And so directly jumping into today's topic today, what we are covering today is not planning for accidental futures. Don't plan for accidental futures. Because this is what pretty much all of us do in our life. We plan for accidental futures. So exactly what does that mean? What does it mean to be planning for an accidental future? Joining me here today is, we also have Srinitya Brahmaskananda Maharaj, who's going to be helping us, taking us down this path of trying to understand the subtle things, the unconscious, unaware things which we're doing in our life continuously, but as a result is not manifesting our future as we want. So to just start off, Brahmaskananda Maharaj, how is that we why do we actually mean by accidental future? When we say not to plan for accidental future, how are all of us already planning for accidental future in our day-to-day life?
Yes. See, the context is really how are we moving from day to day in our life? What are we planning? We always have some plans, right? We want this, we want that. In 5 years, I see myself as this. In 10 years, I see myself as this. But the question we are asking is, are you really consciously planning your future, or is it just some accidental reality, accidental future you are planning? Now we'll delve deeply into what do we really mean by this accidental future. So oftentimes we feel we are not in control over what happens to us in the future. Unknown factors and our own limitations make us feel that we have to just deal with what we are served with. Just the cards we are served with, we have to deal with it. We feel we are not really in control of our reality. Even if we want this, we want that, we plan also, but we don't really feel we are really in control of manifesting that. We might be struggling to achieve something and still it would fail. The truth is that until if we decide to take control, our future is just a mere accident. That is the root cognition. Until we decide to take responsibility, to take control of our life, to take control of our future is only going to be accidental. Waking up and deciding to take control over our future, every one of us wants to control our future, wants to write our own future as we want. But the problem is we don't really feel we are in control. So the solution is to take control and take responsibility for our future and then manifest the future that we want to manifest. From time immemorial, human beings entertain this desire to control the future. They even go to various astrologers and this and that, see, okay, what is it that is in store for me, how I can plan, how I can control. But they always feel they're not really in control. It does not really work in the right direction. Sometimes we try in the wrong direction also. Sometimes because if we tried in the wrong direction, we come to the conclusion it is not possible. But the truth is that rewriting our future is very much possible. See, first we have to understand that rewriting our future is possible. And second, that it is not difficult. And we just need to know why are we doing what we are doing in this accidental way, in this unconscious way, so that we are only planning for the accidental future. You have to really understand why we are doing this. Mangala Maharaj, we want to take the viewers further into understanding deeply as to why they are even planning for this accidental future in the first place. Yes, we have told them that it is possible to rewrite their future, to do it the way they want consciously, and it's also easy, it's not difficult. But to understand why they are even doing this the way they are doing, why they are living the way they are living.
As Maharaj, beautifully as you shared, if we understand how we wrote our past, if we understand how our past is affecting our present, how our past is affecting our present and repeating itself in our future, if we understand these three things, how we wrote our past is called karma. How it is affecting our present, that is what is our incompletions. How it is repeating, reproducing itself in our future is what is accidental, is what is unconscious life, which most of us are living. How we wrote our past, how it is affecting our present, and how it is reproducing itself as our future. If we understand these three things, majority of the work which needs to be done is done. When we have the right cognition, then practicing it becomes very easy. Many of the times we without having the right cognition, we try to do a number of things, none of which works. So now let us give the right cognition to ourselves as to what we need to exactly be doing, as to what we need to actually understand what is happening. If we understand how we wrote our past, that is our karma. Our past is our karma. How our past, our karma is affecting our present, that is incompletions. How it is repeating, reproducing itself in our future is the accidental unconscious life we are all living. Knowing the context is the first step. Just to give a simple example, three men were working in a stone quarry. All three of them are actually breaking stones. One was doing it with so much of sadness, the second one was doing it with comfortable level of peace, and the third one was doing it blissfully, joyfully. Somebody went and asked the guy who's working with a lot of sadness, why are you so sad? What are you doing? And he said that he is breaking a stone, and that is the reason for his sadness. He doesn't feel inspired, he doesn't feel excited about life. This somebody went to the next guy and asked the guy who was very blissful, what are you doing? And the guy said that he was making a pillar. Then the same person goes to the third guy who was blissful and asks him, what are you doing? The third guy says very blissfully, very joyfully, I am building a temple. So please understand, all three of them are doing the exact same job. All three of them are just breaking the stones, doing the same work. But without having the right context, what they are doing, we will feel tired, we will feel bored. When we have a somewhat little understanding about the context, we'll feel peaceful, we'll feel comfortable with it. When we have the larger vision for our life, we become blissful. If our life is sandwiched between tiredness and between boredom, people wake up so tired and they go. How many of you have actually experienced this in your life? When you wake up, you are so tired, you just want to sleep, you don't want to get up at all. But when you go to bed in the night, you are full of energy, fresh, alive, awake, don't know what to do. So why are we doing what we're doing? Who are we? Where are we heading? Is my life today, the life which I'm living right now, what am I doing as a part of my day-to-day activities? Is that adding strength to me? Is that making me head towards where I want to go? If we know every single day how we are living, how it is moving us towards where we want to go, we will never see tiredness or boredom. Tiredness and boredom comes only because when we are not consciously taking a hold of our future, when we are letting the accidental future continue to happen, when we're always praying for accidental future to happen, tiredness and boredom will be a part of our life. Tiredness is nothing but conflicts which we entertain. It's the way to measure, it's the way to tell. It is conveying a very important thing to us. Tiredness and boredom are nothing but the representatives of karma. Maharaj, maybe you'd like to take this a bit deeper further.
So how do I know that whether I am really planning for a conscious future or an accidental future? So one thing that you shared is, if day to day the context with which I am, current context in my life, day to day, even when I wake up in the morning, if I'm just feeling tired, bored, depressed, feeling the whole life as a load, oh God, what I'm going to, even though I'm going to go and do what I've planned to do to achieve this and that. But deep inside, if I'm carrying a deep feeling of tiredness and boredom, that is because of the hangover of the past that is still affecting in the present moment. The past karma that is still affecting even now as incompletions, as Mangala Maharaj put it. So that means it is a clear sign that we are moving towards our accidental future only. It is not a conscious future that we are planning and planting. Okay, so this is a clear, we can say a test, a litmus test you can even employ in your own life day to day. Just look, when you wake up, when you plan for the day, do you really feel tired and bored inside? Externally, you may plan and do and work in this and that, but deeply, what is the context you are carrying? So that is one thing. Now the question arises, what is this tired and boredom really? Where is it really coming from? To look at it deeply. So the tiredness and boredom that we are talking about, they are the representatives of karma. Okay, so we need to address how to understand it properly so that it helps us in our life. He says karma is a strong belief of things are impossible because in the past we failed, right? Because of the past failures, we still carry the hangover that it is still impossible for us. That is the karma, and that brings this hangover brings tiredness and boredom even now when we are moving in our life. But we forget why we failed in the past. We may not have had intelligence at that time. We may not have had what all is required to succeed at that time. Because we did not have whatever is required and we failed, this does not mean that we are going to fail forever. But unfortunately, illogical belief of impossibility in our inner space, this is karma. Illogical belief of impossibility in our inner space that is still operating in our inner space is karma. This illogical belief of impossibility. Now, Mangala Maharaj, would you like to guide the viewers? Now, okay, we have understood the hangover of the past that we still carry and how it's affecting us day by day and how it is pushing us towards an accidental future. Now, the question arises, what is the way out? What is the way out of this? What is the solution? Yes, Mangala Maharaj.
Solution is simple and it is just one word: completion. Completion, completion, completion. That is literally the answer to all our problems. That's the Mahavakya to every single thing which we are suffering with in our life. Completing with impossibilities is the first step for everything in our life. Making our inner space available to us. Our strong beliefs of impossibility is karma. There are thousands and thousands of definitions about karma. But the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gave this one definition in such a way that it is directly useful to us. Because we know we can overcome our beliefs about impossibility. We can change our future just like that. People feel that they have messed up their past so much that they have no possibility in front of them. But the most dangerous thing is life is not even messing up our past. All of us have messed up our past. All of us. Unless we are an enlightened being who came down with a clear purpose, unless we have happened as an incarnations, every human being has messed up with the past. Messing up with the past is not something different, it's usual. That is the way we are. That is, as human beings, messing up with our past is just our is the just the way we are. But that is not something which is the big problem which we should be worried about. That is not something which we should be bothered about the most. The biggest problem is that when the solutions are available to us, when the right truths are available to us, when the right methodology is available to us, when the right technology is available to us, we start thinking, I already applied these thoughts, ideas in my past, and they did not work for me. And they are not going to work for me in the future. With this delusion, rejecting the possibility of rewiring the future, this is the biggest problem human beings are suffering with. We actually never apply these principles completely in the past, but we strongly believe we tried and it is not working for us. It was not successful for us in the past. Many times, again and again and again, we discover a solution for a problem. In 3-4 days, we forget the solution, fall into the same problem. And then we think for 1 week and find the same solution. After we find the same solution, 2 days, we feel, what a great solution this is. But I found the same solution 2 days before. Why did I forget? And why did we not try to retain the solution? Again, in 1 week, we'll forget that solution, fall into the same problem again. Same rut, same thinking trend of problem. After another 1 week of thinking, contemplating, we come to the same solution again. And we think, why I didn't use the solution earlier? This time, I'll write the solution on paper, I'll stick it to my bed, I'll stick it to my fridge, I'll write it all over my laptop. Whether we stick it in our bed or on our back or on our face or even on our mirror, we can stick it wherever we want to stick it. But when we fall into the same rut again and again, we forget the solution and we are back to square one. Only when we decide it is enough and we consciously look in and complete, we manifest the future consciously. Incarnations are the very manifestations of the pure space of completion and always manifesting from this pure uncolored state. When we are complete with our past patterns and operate from the pure uncolored space, we don't carry any hangover of the past in the present, and we don't project the default past on the future. Maybe Brahmasukha, you can go ahead and give this example from the life of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. Throughout his life, how he lived and acted from the space of completion.
Yes, Maharaj. See, as incarnations, they are the perfect role models of how these principles are actually applicable in real life, and they are the clear demonstrations of, okay, this is how it actually works. See and learn and replicate. That's the really the statement of an incarnation. All these truths are real. So when we talk about this today's topic of this cognition about how to rewrite your future consciously, not accidentally plan for it, we are now entering into seeing the actual examples of the incarnations, the great incarnations, and how they manifested their future consciously, not just the default future they were supposed to live from the past hangovers. No, that did not happen in their life. Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, throughout his life, lived and acted from this pure completion space. Every moment he acted from this pure completion space. All his actions were conscious decisions to create the future he wanted based on dharma, which is what is right. So that was the very context in which he was working, right? Just a few minutes ago, we talked about the context from which we are living day by day. This is the context he was working from. Each and every moment, the purpose was very clear. What he wanted based on dharma, what each action, what is the context, what is right in this situation, what is the dharmic way to act now, and what is the purpose of my life. So let's create the future in that direction. So if you look at the examples, immediately after coming back from Gurukul, Sri Rama was asked to assist Rishi Vishwamitra. He came to help to turn to fight with the demons who were continuously harassing and intimidating the sages. So he came to King Dasharatha for help and wanted to take Sri Rama with him so that he could fight those demons. So by default, if you really look at the situation, Sri Rama has just come back from the Gurukul. He is just a young boy, not no real world experience, so to speak. Yes, educated, knowledgeable, but no real world experience, so to speak. In the practical sense, if we look now, King Dasharatha, his father, how would he act? What is the default way? He would have never allowed his eldest son, such a young boy, to do that job. But Sri Rama was aware of his potential. He knew about his potential without allowing any conditioning, any parental conditioning, any other pattern, any other default thinking. He simply chose to go with Rishi Vishwamitra and defeated those demons. He took responsibility, even at a young age, against the so-called normal notions of how a young boy is supposed to act and how a parent is supposed to protect. Nothing. He knew what he's born to do, what is his purpose, what is his potential, and simply taking responsibility, he acted, he consciously acted. He did not let the default cognition of I am still young, I should, first get trained, etc., stop him. Nothing stopped him. No, he did not operate from those cognitions. He consciously chose to straight enter into the battlefield, establishing a completely new and powerful reality about him and around him, and creating his future in that direction. If a person gets exiled to the forest for 14 years, it is very easy to fall into depression and just somehow survive, just somehow drag till the end. But what did Sri Rama do? He faced the same reality, right? But Sri Rama powerfully broke even this default possibility and made the best out of even that time. He lived with numerous rishis, munis, tapasvis, all the greatest sages of that time, like Rishi Agastya, Rishi Bharadwaja, etc., the best of the minds and the best of the enlightened beings. He served them, he learned from them all the best things they had to offer in their respective fields, and even help them in their troubles and their problems. So, because of this decision to make the best out of every situation, even this 14-year-long exile became one of the happiest and most enriching phases of Sri Rama's life. That is the irony. Even after leaving his kingdom, he did not lose his kinghood, the quality, the space of the leadership. He walked as a king even in the deep forest, even in the unknown lands. He walked as a king, tall. Towards the end of their exile, when even Devi Sita was abducted by Ravana, Sri Rama was practically alone in the middle of the forest with his brother Lakshmana, with no support at all, no army, no money, nothing. Now, looking from this angle, the accidental future would have been disastrous, right? But as the very embodiment of completion, he simply made the powerful decision to manifest what he wants and rescue his wife Sita, made everything happen as he wanted, and eventually made him succeed in his mission. So, not only did he make new friends and create a team from scratch and rescued Devi Sita, he made the impossible into possible. He defeated Ravana, the most powerful Rakshasa of that time, of that age, with an army of Vanaras, bears, and tribals. There was no huge, the civilized army, so to speak, nothing. Because of the fire of completion that Sri Rama carried, and with the power of his conviction, even his most beloved disciple Hanuman, just with the tip of his tail, he burned the entire golden city of Lanka, Ravana's kingdom, and reduced it to ashes. So, after being coronated as king, Sri Rama made all the sacrifices needed to uphold dharma in the society, even if he had to go against his wishes and feelings. There were no default conditionings, no patterns. This is the point which we are trying to make from all these examples from Sri Rama's life. No default conditionings, no patterns, no operating from any patterns or default conditioning anywhere. Each and every decision in his life was a conscious decision where Sri Rama's life was a conscious decision taken from completion. So, breaking out of any past hangover and creating a new future, conscious future, not a default accidental future, is what Sri Rama demonstrated in his life. Similarly, if you look at the life of the current living incarnation amongst us, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, each and every day, each and every moment is a fresh start, an upgraded new beginning. It is a decision to continuously break the past and create a new future. That's the cognition with which Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff, is operating day in and day out. There is in fact no notion of past and future in that pure unclutched space that he carries, that he operates from. But all the happenings are in the present. There is no place for any pattern, no place for any predictability, but every moment is fresh, every moment is a new life. Even disciples, who lived around the Supreme Pontiff, they experience this day in and day out. Whenever they share the stories, their experiences, how they lived, and what are the sweetest moments, and some examples they will take. This thing comes again and again and again. One moment, the Supreme Pontiff may be firing someone ferociously, and the very next moment he would be bubbly and cracking jokes also. Just the very next moment. Simply living around him is such a sheer delight. It is a taste of life. It is really the feast of life. If we look at the public life of the Supreme Pontiff, his mission, we would notice how there is no place for any default or accidental future. It is all conscious creation. It is Srishti of Paramashiva, conscious planting of future, not planning for accidental future. It is a planting of conscious future. After finding the location of the banyan tree, the Kalpa Vriksha in Bidadi, near Bengaluru in India, the Supreme Pontiff simply decided to live there in the middle of the forest among snakes and bears and whatnot. He simply decided to move there. To build a small hut for his shelter, he did not buy any bricks or waited for anyone to donate. He simply made his own bricks and built the hut himself. Even in the initial phase, when the Supreme Pontiff would conduct small meditation camps and healing camps for people, the cognition and declaration he was operating from was, he is building KAILASA, and the world's greatest and largest meditation university. For a common man, it would not even make sense, right? Because what he would have seen in front of him is the past, the weekend meditation camps. But what the Supreme Pontiff was seeing, even at that time, was the conscious future he was planting, the seed he was planting at that time, which actually manifested over the course of just a few years. Now, the Supreme Pontiff has not only built the world's largest Hindu university, he has built an entire nation for Hindus. So, after being forced to leave his motherland, India, the Supreme Pontiff simply declared, "Let us build a nation for Hindus." And we see that coming into reality in the present now. So, this is a clear demonstration of the power of completion and the powerfulness it infuses into our life, our words, our decisions, our actions, our declarations, and every breath of our life. Moment to moment, if we are operating from this pure space of completion and pure unclutched space, we would see that all the hangover of the past, all the karma, it would simply melt and dissolve. It would simply get completed, and we can simply plant our future as we want and manifest it into reality. Now, I would invite Mangala Maharaj to guide our viewers today for the process, for the completion process, to actually experience this in their life, to taste these cognitions which we are sharing with them, how to actually taste it and how to operate in their life with a small process. Yes, Mangala Maharaj.
Yes, so very wonderfully put, Maharaj, giving the examples from the life of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, giving the same example, similar example, in fact, from the life of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where, in terms of this is actually, there are very many striking resemblances both in the life of Sri Rama and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where even when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism started his public life, he had the divine vision of the Kalpariksha banyan tree, and after finding and identifying it, just started staying there. There were tigers, there were bears, all sorts of animals, because at that point that was not a urban area as it is today. It was still very much in a forest reserve, a forest community, where much of the development, the modern day development, has still not yet happened, and very much a big part of it had actually was still a part of the wild. But despite all of that, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism still continued and decided that if I am going to be here, let the mission start happening. And so he himself started building brick by brick, and not just Adi Kailasa, but the entire Kailasa nation is now established. And so, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism committed to his mission with the deep clarity at what it is that he is doing, even when nobody else outside could grasp the depth of his vision. The same way how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was completely committed and was only seeing the conscious future which he was planning and creating, let us also now take the responsibility for creating our own future. Let us just take a few moments now to look in. Where have we been letting our beliefs of impossibilities decide the path we took in the past, and where do we still feel, I wish I could commit to this career, learn that language, visit this place, but it is not possible for me? Pen down where your beliefs of impossibility are in the working of manifesting an accidental future for you. After you identify all your beliefs of impossibilities for manifesting your future, next look in where you created these beliefs. Look into the past where you experienced these failures which you are now projecting onto your future. Finally, decide to cognize that just because in the past you failed for some reason, that doesn't mean that you can't manifest your future as you want, that you don't have the possibility to plan your life for success. Declare what future it is that you are going to manifest consciously for yourself. And decide to invest all your thinking, planning, every breath into making that into reality. So this is a simple 4-step process which is going to help all of us to start planning our conscious future. Because until we start planning our conscious future, we are going to always be planning only for accidental future. So now through this process, let us now start planning for our conscious future. It's going to be a step-by-step process, and the instructions also being projected on the screen. So we can first start with the first step, which is identifying and all the places where our beliefs of impossibilities are in the working of manifesting the accidental future. Fundamentally, just simply list down all your beliefs of impossibilities. When you think of the life you want to manifest, what are all the beliefs of impossibilities which immediately come in front of you? Start penning them down. As we're going to be doing this process, the Mahavakya music is also going to be likely being played in the background to help us be in the space of restful awareness as we continue and go through the process. So please pen down your beliefs of impossibility and
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vanni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
once you've identified
Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
once you've identified the impossibilities and looked into your past, where you experienced the same failures which you are now projecting into your future, finally decide to cognize that just because in the past you have failed for some reason, that doesn't mean you can't manifest your future as you want. That you don't have the possibility to plan your life for success. Now, start penning down your declaration for what future it is that you are going to manifest consciously, and decide to invest all your thinking, all your planning, every breath into making that into reality. Start now penning down your conscious future, which you are now deciding to make your reality. Once your conscious future is now decided, once you have now penned down and have identified what is it, your conscious future, which you want to cause as a reality. In a few minutes from now, we're going to be joined live from Adi KAILASA Nithyananda Paramashiva Devasthanam and offer our worship. Have the blessings and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, of Devi Parashakti Mariamman, of the Supreme of Sri Ramachandra Prabhu. With their grace and blessings, we're going to be offering our worship, our gratitude to them, and after having their blessings, we're going to be entering into the power manifestation, through which the conscious reality which we are now going to be creating for ourselves, through this conscious reality, manifesting the reality we want through the power manifestation. So I request all the viewers, all the participants to stay tuned to continue penning down the conscious future for your life as we get ready to enter into the next part of today's program, which is the live puja offering of worship, of our gratitude to Sri Ramachandra Prabhu, Sri Devi Parashakti Mariamman, and to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please stay tuned. We'll be back with you for very shortly, joined live from Adi KAILASA. Thank you, Nithyananda.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda.
नित्यानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि नित्यानन्देश्वर परमशिवसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरि परमशिवशक्तिमध्यमाम् नित्यानन्दपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां ललाटे त्रिपुण्ड्रे निटिलकृतकस्तूरीतिलकः स्फुरन्मालाधारस्फुरितकटिकौपीनवसनः दधानो दुस्तारं शिरसि फणिराजं शशिकलां प्रदीपः सर्वेषाम् अरुणगिरियोगी विजयते ॐ आपदा अपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदा लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयोर्भूयोर्नमाम्यहम् अथ धूपः ॐ धूरसि धूर्वधूर्वन्तं धूर्वतञ्योऽस्मान् धूर्वतितं धूर्वयं वयं धूर्वामस्त्वं देवानामसि सस्मितमं पप्रितमं दुष्टतमं वह्नितमं देवहूतममहृतमसि हविर्धानं त्रिगुंहस्वमाह्वामित्रस्य त्वा चक्षुषा प्रेक्षेमाभेर्मा संविग्धा मा त्वाहि कृशम् श्री सीता लक्ष्मण समेत श्री रामचंद्र स्वामिने नमः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि अथ दीपः ॐ उद्दीप्य स्वजातवेदोपब्धन्निरर्दिम्बमां पशोगश्च मह्यमावह जीवनं च दिशो दिशा मानो हि गुंसे जातवेदो गामश्वं पुरुषं जगते अबिभ्रदग्न आगहि श्रियामा परिपादय श्री सीता लक्ष्मण समेत श्री रामचंद्र स्वामिने नमः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमः दीपं संदर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुवाताऋतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिद्धवः माध्वीर्णः सन्तोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसि मधुमत्पार्थितुण्डजः मधुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमान्यो वनस्पतिर्मधुमागुम्बस्तु सूर्यः माद्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः माधु 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 श्री सीता लक्ष्मण समेत श्री रामचंद्र स्वामिने नमः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमो नमः अमृतं महानैवेद्यं निवेदयामि नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनं समर्पयामि नीराजनम् ॐ रामाय रामचन्द्राय रामभद्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः श्री सीता लक्ष्मण समेत श्री रामचंद्र स्वामिने नमः सर्वदेव देवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्री नित्यानंद परमशिवाय नमो नमः कर्पूर नीराजनं संदर्शयामि रक्षान् धारयामि
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda. 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 Paramashivoham.
ॐ सत्यै नमः। ॐ साध्व्यै नमः। ॐ भवप्रीतायै नमः। ॐ भवान्यै नमः। ॐ भवमोचन्यै नमः। ॐ आर्यायै नमः। ॐ दुर्गायै नमः। ॐ जयायै नमः। ॐ आद्यायै नमः। ॐ त्रिनेत्रायै नमः। ॐ शूलधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ पिनाकधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ चित्रायै नमः। ॐ चण्डघण्टायै नमः। ॐ महातपायै नमः। ॐ मनरूपायै नमः। ॐ बुद्ध्यै नमः। ॐ अहङ्कारायै नमः। ॐ चित्तरूपायै नमः। ॐ चितायै नमः। ॐ चित्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वमन्त्रमय्यै नमः। ॐ सत्तायै नमः। ॐ सत्यानन्दस्वरूपिण्यै नमः। ॐ अनन्तायै नमः। ॐ भाविन्यै नमः। ॐ भव्यायै नमः। ॐ भव्यायै नमः। ॐ अभव्यायै नमः। ॐ सदागत्यै नमः। ॐ शाम्भव्यै नमः। ॐ देवमात्रे नमः। ॐ चिन्तायै नमः। ॐ रत्नप्रियाय सदायै नमः। ॐ सर्वविद्यायै नमः। ॐ दक्षकन्यायै नमः। ॐ दक्षयज्ञविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ अपर्णायै नमः। ॐ अनेकवर्णायै नमः। ॐ पाटलायै नमः। ॐ पाटलावत्यै नमः। ॐ पट्टाम्बरपरिधानायै नमः। ॐ कलमञ्जीररञ्जिन्यै नमः। ॐ अमेयविक्रमायै नमः। ॐ क्रूरायै नमः। ॐ सुन्दरायै नमः। ॐ सुरसुन्दर्यै नमः। ॐ वनदुर्गायै नमः। ॐ मातङ्ग्यै नमः। ॐ मतङ्गमुनिपूजितायै नमः। ॐ ब्राह्म्यै नमः। ॐ माहेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ ऐन्द्र्यै नमः। ॐ कौमार्यै नमः। ॐ वैष्णव्यै नमः। ॐ चामुण्डायै नमः। ॐ वाराह्यै नमः। ॐ लक्ष्म्यै नमः। ॐ पुरुषाकृत्यै नमः। ॐ विमलायै नमः। ॐ उत्कर्षिण्यै नमः। ॐ ज्ञानायै नमः। ॐ क्रियायै नमः। ॐ नित्यायै नमः। ॐ बुद्धिदायै नमः। ॐ बहुलायै नमः। ॐ बहुलप्रेमायै नमः। ॐ सर्ववाहनवाहनायै नमः। ॐ निशुम्भशुम्भहनन्यै नमः। ॐ महिषासुरमर्दिन्यै नमः। ॐ मधुकैटभहन्त्र्यै नमः। ॐ चण्डमुण्डविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वासुरविनाशिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वदानवघातिन्यै नमः। ॐ सर्वशास्त्रमय्यै नमः। ॐ सत्यायै नमः। ॐ सर्वास्त्रधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ अनेकशस्त्रहस्तायै नमः। ॐ अनेकास्त्रधारिण्यै नमः। ॐ कुमार्यै नमः। ॐ एककन्यायै नमः ॐ कैशोर्यै नमः ॐ युवत्यै नमः ॐ यत्यै नमः ॐ अप्रौढायै नमः ॐ प्रौढायै नमः ॐ वृद्धमात्रे नमः ॐ बलप्रदायै नमः ॐ महोदर्यै नमः ॐ मुक्तकेश्यै नमः ॐ घोररूपायै नमः ॐ महाबलायै नमः ॐ अग्निज्वालायै नमः ॐ रौद्रमुख्यै नमः ॐ कालरात्र्यै नमः ॐ तपस्विन्यै नमः ॐ नारायण्यै नमः ॐ भद्रकाल्यै नमः ॐ विष्णुमायायै नमः ॐ जलोदर्यै नमः ॐ शिवदूत्यै नमः ॐ कराळ्यै नमः ॐ अनन्तायै नमः ॐ परमेश्वर्यै नमः ॐ कात्यायन्यै नमः ॐ सावित्र्यै नमः ॐ प्रत्यक्षायै नमः ॐ ब्रह्मवादिन्यै नमः श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति श्री इन्द्राक्षिदेव्यै नमो नमः नेत्राणां नेत्राणां दशभिष्यतैः परिवृताम् अत्युग्रचर्माम्बरां हेमाभां महतीं विलम्बितशिखां मामुक्तकेशान्वितां घण्टामण्डितपादपद्मयुगलां नागेन्द्रकुम्भस्तनीम् इन्द्राक्षीं परिचिन्तयामि सततं प्रत्यक्षसिद्धिप्रदाम् ॐ धूरसिधूर्वधूर्वन्तं धूर्वतयो वयं पूर्वामस्त्वं देवानामशिषस्नितमं पप्रितमं दुष्टतमं वह्नितमं देवहूतममहृतमसि हविर्दानं त्रिगुंहस्वमाह्वा मित्रस्य द्वाचक्षुषा प्रेक्षे माभेर्मा संविग्धा मा त्वाहि पुंसिषुम् ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं इन्द्राक्षीं श्रीं क्लीं स्वाहा श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति श्री इन्द्राक्षिदेव्यै नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि ॐ स्वजातवेदोपघ्नन्निरर्तिं मम न आगहि श्रिया मा परिपातय ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं इन्द्राक्षीं श्रीं क्लीं स्वाहा श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति श्री इन्द्राक्षिदेव्यै नमः दीपं सन्दर्शयामि अथ नैवेद्यम् ॐ मधुवातारुतायते मधुक्षरन्ति सिन्धवः माध्वीर्णः सन्पोषधीः मधुनक्तमुतोषसि मधुमत्पार्थिवगुम्रजः मधुद्यौरस्तु नः पिता मधुमान्नो वनस्पतिर्मधुमाकुम् अस्तु सूर्यः माद्वीर्गावो भवन्तु नः मधु 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 ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं इन्द्राक्षीं श्रीं क्लीं स्वाहा श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति श्री इन्द्राक्षिदेव्यै नमः नैवेद्यं निवेदयामि ॐ सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते सृष्टिस्थितिविनाशानां शुद्धिभूते सनातनी गुणाश्रये गुणमये नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते शरणागतदीनार्थपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्याद्यहरे देवि नारायणि नमोऽस्तुते ॐ ह्रीं श्रीं इन्द्राक्षीं श्रीं पें स्वाहा श्री नित्यानन्देश्वरी परमशिवशक्ति श्री इन्द्राक्षिदेव्यै नमः कर्पूरनीराजनं सन्दर्शयामि रक्षां धारयामि शोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकृत्पूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सार्वभौमैकपत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलं कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्रे नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम् त्वं स्मृतमहं धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गङ्गाधर नामेति स्तोत्रस्थानं ददाम्यहम् हरिः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं भगवच्छ्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवपादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्
नित्यानन्द परमशिवो नित्यानन्द
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम् 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 ॐ नित्यानन्द परमशिवोऽहम्
Nithyananda, that was such a powerful darshan of Devi Parashakti, Sri Ramchandra Prabhu and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. In the same space of oneness with them, Let us now enter into the power manifestation session. Today, we are going to be manifesting the power of increasing our weight, the body weight which we have. Yes, we are going to be manifesting this power of increasing the weight of our body. So now, let us get ready to manifest this power. All you need is a weighing machine, of course. So you need to just get a weighing machine and weigh yourself on the machine and see how much your body weight is currently. So you can now go and weigh yourself on the weighing machine. So this is the initial reading. We are going to be manifesting 2 rounds of this power today. So you can measure yourself, your weight initially now. And then we'll be measuring once more after we manifest the power to see how much we have manifested. So we are going to be measuring the weight 2 times. So let us get ready to manifest this power now. So quickly weigh yourself on the weighing machine, measure your weight, and also take a photo of yourself like when you stand on the weighing machine, after you standing. Once the reading is complete in the weighing machine, when the weight is being displayed, please take the photo of that weight as you're on the weighing machine. Or if you can ask someone else to take also, because if you take a phone with your phone on your hand, the weight sometimes the weight will of course increase. So you can take someone else's help to take the photo of yourself. We're going to be manifesting this power in a few minutes. We are going to start the manifestation. We have 1 more minute to start the power manifestation. So quickly measure your weight and get ready for the power manifestation. You're going to be increasing your body weight today. This is one of the most powerful power manifestations. This is also a power that comes under the power of will. Like consciousness over matter, this is also a power where you are just going to be deciding and the power manifestation is going to happen.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda Paramashivoham Nithyananda
Yes, now you're going to be starting the manifestation of the power. If any one of you want to use Jnananjana, and if you have Jnananjana, you can use the Jnananjana. But if you do not have the Jnananjana is the alchemy product which is applied. It is the black color paste that we apply on the 3rd eye when we are manifesting these powers of Paramashiva, which is given directly by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the power manifestation. So now if you have the Jnananjana, you can use the Jnananjana. But if you do not have the Jnananjana, you will still be able to manifest these powers. So just get ready. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. You can sit on the ground or you can sit on a chair or any other comfortable place. If you can sit on the ground, sit on the ground. But otherwise, make sure that you are sitting in a comfortable position. So you can sit in Padmasana. Make sure that you have already taken the measurement of your weight. Even if you have taken it like today morning or some other time, you have to measure your weight right, because it is very important that we are manifesting the power accurately. Now sit straight. Visualize the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in your 3rd eye. Intensely chant the Mahavakya. Start chanting the Mahavakya. Visualize any form of Swamiji that you feel oneness with, any form that you connect to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism the most. Visualize that form of Swamiji. close your eyes and chant the Mahavakya intensely.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om
Now, just request Swamiji inside you to increase the weight of your body by how much ever you want to increase your body weight. You can even increase a few kilograms, how much ever you want, few grams, few kilograms, how much ever you want to increase your body weight by, you can increase it that much. And this is also, if you feel that you do not want to increase your weight permanently, you do not have to manifest the power like that. This power, you can just manifest it to see if your body weight is, if you're able to, if you're manifesting this power or not. This is just like a measure. The power manifestation is just to see that you are manifesting Swamiji through your body. It is not that you have to manifest this power permanently and make your weight, increase the weight of your body. And also, you should know that if someone is suffering from not able to increase their body weight and they want to increase their body weight, or someone is suffering with obesity and they want to decrease their body weight, this power can be helpful. This power can make you increase or decrease body weight as much as you want. So these powers have been manifested by so many different siddhas and enlightened beings who have lived in the over the years. If you see in the Hindu Purana stories and all of that, so many places these powers have been manifested. So this power is power that any one of us can manifest, just with the grace and blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We have 1 more minute to manifest this power. Before we move on to the next step, you can also take the photo of you doing the power manifestation while you're sitting straight in the space of oneness with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can take photos of yourself, or you can ask someone else to take the photos of you. Now continue to manifest the power intensely. You have a few more seconds. Now it is time to move on to the next step of the power manifestation. We are going to be measuring our weight now and seeing how much we have manifested, how much we have increased our body weight. Even if little bit you have increased, even if it is like a few grams, few hundred grams, that is also power manifestation only. You don't have to think that I decided for 10 kgs, but I did not increase 10 kgs. But even if you increase like half a kilogram, 1 kilogram, that is also the power manifestation. You just have to manifest this power more number of times, and you will see that you are able to manifest the weight that you decreased, that you decided to manifest. So now you can again get back to the weighing machines and weigh yourself again on the weighing machine. Stand on the weighing machine exactly however you did the measurement of your weight before. Exactly in the same weighing machine, do the measurement again. Measure your weight again and to see how much you have increased. Do not change anything in the process of the measurement. Do it exactly the way how you did it initially. Do it exactly the same way now again, so that we are not having any anomaly while the power manifestation.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda.
We have 1 more minute to measure our weight, and we'll be moving on to the next step of the power manifestation, where we are going to be sharing our experiences on the social media. You can share your experiences on the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all the other social media platforms that you are active on. You can share your experiences on how much you have manifested, how much weight you have increased today, and also what powerful cognitions you manifested while the power manifestation. Because every day's power manifestation, all the powers that we are manifesting, we are also keeping our sankalpa, the will, the decision that we took, that we want to manifest something. Like whatever you wrote today in the process, that you want to manifest this, you want to manifest that. What you want to manifest in your life, this is the time to manifest that as a reality. So when we are doing the power manifestation, we are keeping that as the intention and manifesting that also in our lives. So you can also write down what you had written down, how much you are manifesting it already, and also what are the powerful cognitions that you manifested while you are manifesting the powers. Because when you're in the space of oneness with Swamiji, you will continuously be manifesting higher powerful cognitions. Some click will happen inside you. So each time you manifest a power, some or the other click will click inside you, and you'll start manifesting new powers more differently. So you can share what you manifested, what are the clicks that you manifested, what are the experiences that you manifested. And while you're sharing your experiences on social media, you can use the hashtag Rama Navami. You can use the hashtag PPV for the Pachipatti Vratam. You can use the hashtag KAILASA, hashtag Power Manifestation, and also the hashtag Madhyaman. You can use all of these hashtags to post your experiences. Make sure that you're using these hashtags.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your 3 eyes and manifest the powers of Mahasadashiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Now it is time to move on to the next segment. Those of you who are still posting your experiences, you can continue to post and finish sharing your experiences on the social media. All the experiences that you had today, all the manifestations that you did, including the photos of yourself manifesting these powers. You can share all of those on the social media. Now let us move on to the next segment, which has become the end of the power manifestation. Next, we are going to be having the Nithyananda Satsang. So let us now get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line, in the space of complete listening. Now, let us move on to the next segment, which is the Nithyananda Satsang. Thank you, Nithyananda.
I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes. I bless you all. Let you all open all your three eyes and manifest the powers of Shiva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Hope I am not going above your head. I am trying to get into your head. Before continuing next sessions, before taking the process further, I want you to just spend few minutes, listen carefully so you can understand. Few minutes. Your experiences with time as perception. Listen, I'll repeat. When you are restless, how time doesn't move. When you are sad, time is long. I gave various definitions of time. When you are happy, time flies. Your experience about this truth I have given many definitions about time. Time is slow when you wait. Time is fast when you are late. Time is deadly when you are sad. Time is short when you are happy. Time is endless when you are in pain. Time is long when you feel bored. About these perceptions, I don't want to give the title experience for this. Please understand. Only when you experience the reality that is called experience. Everything else is only perception. All the people who are in delusion, if they accept, agree something common, that is called fact. One person who is waking up from the delusion, see something little higher than the common understandings among the deluded people, he sees truth. When he is fully out and experiences the existence, that is reality. Only for reality I want to use the word experience. You can't use the word experience for anything else. So your perception about time, at least 2-3 incidents when you felt time is too long, 2-3 incidents when you felt time is too short, 2-3 incidents when you felt time literally flies. 2-3 incidents when you felt, is the clock, something is wrong with the clock? Is it repaired? Why it is not moving? Why it is not changing? Just 2-3 in your life. Try to recollect and pen down. A few minutes. So when I am explaining the next truths, you will easily be able to relate with it. That is why. See, whatever I am explaining, if you do not internalize, understand I am using the word internalize. Analyzing for the sake of internalizing is internalizing. Analyzing for the sake of discarding is atheism. Atheists analyze everything only to discard. Take few minutes, recollect, write elaborately. Don't take like notes, college notes. No. Recollect at least 2-3 incidents for each of this concept. When time was too long, or when time was too short, when time was not just moving. Once I remember, I spoke continuously for 14 hours without moving from the seat. One session, introduction to Shivagamas. I introduced Shivagamas in 2005. I still remember the old meditation hall, which we used to call that time Devasabha. And I don't know whether you guys will be able to believe, we have a video record. Not a single one went out even for 1, 2, 3 break, no tea, no breakfast, nothing. It's not that I told them to not to move. Like today morning I said, let's have absolute no movement. It's not that. I told them whenever anybody wants to go out, please go and eat and come. I am going to move out only after I feel I have introduced. Later on only I realized it was one session at a stretch. So sometime you would have had an experience when the time was too short. 14 hours was just maybe half an hour. That's the way it was. Time was too short. If you look in your life, there will be some period. Time was too short. If you are married, you will have a lot of examples. Just write before marriage, after marriage, that's write some incidents when you felt time was too long, some incidents when time was too short, some incidents when time was not just moving, some incident when time was just flying. I had a fortune of meeting a great Paramahamsa. His name was Sundananda Swami. He was from Ramakrishna order in Mangalore. Now he is no more, he left the body. In his room he will have 25 clocks. One will show 8:30, one 9:10, another one 1:30, another one 2:40. Like this 25 different times. I used to ask him, Maharaji, why this is an elderly person. Maharaji, why like this? So many clocks with so many time. What is actual time? He will say, hey, Koka. Koka means in Bengali, small boy. He will say, hey, Koka. Whatever time I want, I'll keep that clock as a real time. It was very shocking. And he was head of the mud monastery where so much need to happen as per the chronological clock. But he was always making everything happen. You may wonder, is it practically possible? For my type of, each one thinks your type is the specific, special type which has no similarity in the planet Earth. Each one of us think that. You don't know about me, Swamiji. You may think, but I tell you, it is possible. I'll make it. I'll make it by tomorrow evening. The absolute freedom from time. Listen. Consider this line, straight line, as present moment. Now. Every thought happens between past and future. Please listen. Actually, from morning I am giving you different truths about time. Now all those zigzag puzzles will fall in place if you just grasp this one. All thoughts, it can be as simple as feeling like having a cup of tea, or as complicated as politically strategizing for some victory. It can be as simple as wanting to have a cup of coffee, or as complicated as political strategizing for some victory. Any thought, thought means movement between past and future. Thought means nothing but you move to the past and future. This is past. Let's consider this as past, and this as future. The center moment, present, where the present meets the past and future. That moment is now. This is that now. Present. Understand, if these lines symbolically represent time, means this board is the space. Symbolically, this board represents space. On space only the whole time happens. Space is the most subtlest matter on which the play of time happens. Just understand this example. Your movement between past and future is thought. Like you jump from here to there to here, here to there to here, here to there to here. That is what I call your perception about you, life, your existence. Your existence is nothing but the movements. Because till you know your real reality, as of now, whatever you know about you is nothing but your thinking. Am I right? Is there anything you know about you more than your thinking? Anybody? If you know something more about you, more than your thinking, this seat is for you. See, whatever you know about you is all based on your thinking. So, I can very comfortably assume your thinking is your reality, as on now. Am I right? So, it is all about you jumping into the past and future, past and future, past and future. That's all is your thinking. That's all is your, what you call as you. See, what I call as you is much beyond than what you call as you. So now I am talking about what you call as you. It's all about movements between the past and future. And I want you to know, it has a direct utility in your life's balance sheet. So please don't think it is some philosophy, it is some metaphysics, it is some intellectual stuff. Allow every word to enter into you. It can increase your everyday balance sheet. Double. It can increase your everyday balance sheet. So allow this understanding to set into your system. I can make you alive. The life you felt during your puppy love at the age of 13 or 14 or 15, that being alive, I can make that as your eternal way of existence. Please listen. That can become your just eternal perception about you with this one understanding. So allow this to enter into you. When you jump from past to future, past to future, past to future, you also pick up the visualizations of the past and project it on the future as it is or altered way. As it is or altered, both are bondage. Listen, if you are poor, if you were poor in the past, and you are projecting the same on the future, the same visualization, then your default future is poverty. But if you want to alter and project that into your future, you may become rich, but both the way you are bound by the concept of money. Your life perception is all about money. Please understand. The moment you accept somebody as enemy, whether you win or lose, you lost. Because your struggle is within the perception your enemy has thrown on you. If a rich man teases you, oh, you are so poor, and you take it up, you want to change your future, and you become rich and show in front of him, you are a fool. Because finally you lost your life for his perception. You did not live your life for your perception. Whether you win or lose, the moment you accept an enemy, you lost it. You lost it. By not accepting enemy, making enemy powerless is the greatest victory. By not accepting enemy and making him powerless over your life is victory. That is what I call ahimsa. Don't make him have power over you. Please understand. The past, whether you allow the past to be repeated in your future or whether you allow the past to be repeated in an altered way in your future, the smell of the past destroys future. Listen, you were poor, a rich man teases you, you are poor, who are you? You don't have an existence, your identity is useless. He shakes you to your core and puts you in identity crisis. You take up the challenge. If you don't become rich, you lost in front of him. If you become rich, again you lost in front of him. Because the framework with which you were trying to fight, the framework itself was given by him. If you are trying to fight within the framework thrown by him, he already won the game. That is what we Indians are trying to do. We are trying to prove our supremacy with the framework given by the West to them. Whether you win or lose, you are a loser the moment you accept their framework to prove your superiority, to establish your supremacy. The past, the visualizations you carry from past and project it on the future, whether altered or as it is. Listen carefully. If you allow the past to be projected on the future, default. That is what is your default future. Many people who think future is decided, they allow their default past to enter into default future. Default past enters in and becomes a default future. You are a defunct present. Understand? When you allow the default past to become default future, you are defunct present. Some of the concepts we carry, oh, past exists, future exists, then where is my role? That concept is from this understanding. If you have that perception, this is where you will end up. You will allow the default past into default future, where you are defunct present. That's one. That's one level of perception. The next, picking up the past, altering it and projecting on the future, where you think you have the freedom to write your future, freedom to rewrite your future. That's little next level, but not absolute or ultimate. Next level, at least you are awake. You have something called passion. You really want to do something about it. You really want to understand and make your life better. That is what is all the self-confidence gurus teach you, which I am not. Please be very clear. I have absolutely no interest in giving you self-confidence. I have only one interest, to give you self. All these self-help gurus, creative visualization. Oh God. Whether it is all dumped or nicely arranged, junk is a junk is a junk. No, really. All self-confidence gurus teach you to arrange the junk nicely and make a rangoli out of it. No. I am not self-help or self-confidence guru. The self-help, self-confidence is all about taking your past and altering it and projecting it on the future. If you are ignorant, trying to become intelligent in the future. If you are ugly, trying to become beautiful in the future. If you were poor, trying to become rich in the future. I am not against it, but I am not guru for that. I am not against it, but I am not saying that is absolute or that is the life or the reality. Listen carefully. One and only solution is alter the visualizations and perceptions of the past itself. So, whether it is default or developed, the future is absolutely liberating you. Listen. The perception and experience of the past, if it can be changed through the completion process, whether default reproduction or altered reproduction happens, your future is absolutely liberating you. Understand? That is what conquering time. Conquering time means removing the load of the past. So, whether you default reproduce that in future or altered way you reproduce it in the future, both way you are free, you are liberated. There is no worry about the future. There is no bondage in the future. There is no suffocation in the future. Ramakrishna gives a very beautiful example. If a fly sits on the filth and sits on the rice again and again few times, you can't eat that rice anymore. This is filth, this is rice. If you sit too much on the past and sit on the future, it is not sitting on the future. Understand? Now, I have not said anything, everyone understood. It is not sitting on the future. There are some people, by conquering the future, want to change the past. That is called history. When a man wins politically, he changes the whole past. That is history. But by changing the past, changing your future is reality. Enlightenment. Listen carefully. Your past is not as you perceived and recorded. That is why, please understand, it is not bad news, it's a good news. Your past is not as you perceived, recorded, stored, archived. It's a good news. That is why I am saying you can change it. You can change it. When you complete with the perceptions, experience, you archived about your past, lot of enmity becomes irrelevant. I have seen people, just because their uncle shouted at them when they failed in the first grade examination in the first standard, they become PhDs, stupid fellows. No, if you become PhD just because you are passionate about exploring it, great. In India, everybody becomes engineer only then decides what to do next in the life. Then they try to discover what they want to become in the life. No, really. Just because somebody has hurt you, when you failed in your first grade examination, you decide to become a PhD. Absolutely foolish. You just needed one session of completion. That is like a suffering. Somebody's vomiting. Somebody vomited on you, you ate that is sitting in your stomach, and you are suffering with that for 25 years. You just need little haritaki and cleansing. Understand, conquering time happens in multiple layers in your system. Now first, I am going to help you to conquer time psychologically. But that is also not ultimate. Physiologically, you can conquer time. I am not giving you false hope. I am not teaching you something lie. I am telling you, you can stop time moving, not just for you, for all the people around you. Your reality. You can stop time. I am not giving you false hope. I am giving you a science. But before I help you to conquer the physiological, chronological time, I have to help you to conquer psychological time. This is the first step. Then I can lead you to conquer physiological, then physical. Let me describe what I mean. When I say conquering psychological time, I mean not being affected by the psychological ups and downs, and anything happens in you psychologically does not touch you. I remember beautifully, Arunagiri Yogeshwara asked me, what do you want to become? I said, Sadashiva. He said, that is the only reality. Anything which makes you perceive psychologically, physiologically, neurologically, all that does not touch you. This is reality. I don't know the power with which he said, the way in which he said. I just know that is the truth. From that moment, it is just vibrating in me as a truth. That is reality. Nothing else touches. First, if you conquer psychological time, means no psychological effect can happen on your system, on you. Next is conquering physiological time, means even physiologically, other than your decision of who you are, nothing else can have effect over your physiology. That is what I mean, conquering physiological time and conquering chronological time. That is the absolute siddhi. Mahadeva explains this in Agama beautifully. Once you conquer the psychological time and physiological time, conquering chronological time is nothing. And I tell you, I am not giving you two big false promises and hopes. I am giving you a science which is absolutely possible, and I'll prove it by giving you the glimpse. I'll give you the glimpse by tomorrow end. Before the program ends, I'll give you the glimpse. How the psychological time, physiological time, chronological time, all three can be conquered. Because you are beyond time. I may be using this body, but I am beyond this body. You may be using time, but you are beyond time. You may be using time, but you are beyond time. Now, few minutes. The heavy powerlessness you experienced in the past, which is influencing your thinking. It can be as simple as your elder brother snatching a chocolate from you, or as difficult, as complicated as your friend snatching your girlfriend away from you. It can be anything. Past sitting heavily on you and influencing your thought current. The past thoughts, emotions, patterns, hangovers, residues sitting in the present and suffocating you, not letting you live your future, is incompletion. So the major incompletions which is influencing your thought current. Why don't you take a few minutes and pen down? I'll help you to complete them. I'll show to you experientially. You can conquer psychological time, physiological time, and chronological time. If you can conquer physiological time, you will never allow the wear and tear of the body. Your organs will listen to you. You will never allow the wear and tear of the body. Wear and tear of the body is nothing but physiologically time affecting you. Let's first work on psychologically conquering psychological time. I'll repeat what you have to write. The strong thought currents, powerlessness, incompletions from the past, which is influencing and driving you into your future. Those powerlessness moments, why you decided to become wealthy, why you decided to become powerful. If it is out of passion, great, no problem. If there is some powerlessness, some incident, incompletion is influencing you, pen down that. Let's catch the influence of the past on your thinking system. I also want people to know, I am only reviving the Vedic tradition. I am not inventor of any of this. I am making it very clear. Of course, I am responsible for what I am talking. Whatever I am uttering, this is my experience. But the source is the Sanatana Hindu Dharma scriptures. My Atma Pramana, my experience, which is matching with the Apta Pramana, the sayings of the ancient rishis, is what I am presenting it in front of you. Please be very careful, listen. Only a Pandit who knows what is in the scripture but does not have experience cannot give you experience. Are some people who say they have experience but they don't care about the scripture. They don't care about map their experience back to the Shastra. There is always a danger. They may be serving their whims and fancies to you, which may be crow biryani, not chicken biryani. Understand? There is always a danger. There is a comedy which is very popular in all language movies. A comedian will go and eat 5 rupee biryani in the platform, come and make and the other guy walking in the street will tell, did you eat biryani in that platform? He'll say, yes, because 5 rupee, cheap biryani. He'll say, if you eat crow biryani instead of chicken biryani, what kind of sound will come? Only the crow sound will come. So please understand, whenever you go to any yoga, meditation, spirituality, any gurus, teachers, ask this question first. From which Shastra this system is taken out? I am not disrespecting gurus, gurujis, their experiences. Most of the time their experiences may be good for only them. What is good for the whole world? The sketch, the framework is already done by the rishis. So whatever is my experience, I map it back on the Shastras, and only the teachings, truths where it passes through both the test. Atma Pramana, my experience, and Apta Pramana, the Rishi's words, Rishi's experience. Only when these two matches, only those truths are worthy of being shared with the whole world. I can give you guarantee, whatever I am sharing with you, there won't be any negative side effect, because everything time-tested, foolproof, ancient. Yes, I have experienced it. I am responsible for what I am talking. And I have also mapped it back clearly with the tradition, with the Shastras, authentic scriptures. Because I feel responsible for your life. Whatever I am sharing, I know most of you are going to take this very seriously and strategize your life based on these great truths. Then I also have to be 120% sure about every word I am uttering. That is the reason, before I share with you every process, I give you the original reference. Sometimes people tell, oh, you don't have to repeat all that, please you tell directly the technique. method. I say no. Only if I set this trend, my sannyasis also will follow this trend. Never a dilution will happen. I am not just teaching, I am producing thousands of teachers. So I have to set this trend. That's the reason I repeat the original verses, which you don't need to memorize. I am not expecting you to memorize. Just listen so that this tradition is kept alive. 94th verse, 22nd technique from Shivanyana Upanishad, which is part of Shivagama. Chittat yantaha kritir nasti mamantar bhavayet iti vigalpanam abhavena vigalpair uchito bhavet. I'll translate and give you the precise method. The essence of this verse is reliving is relieving. Means the past powerlessness which is influencing your thinking, relive those incidents, not remembering. Please understand, there is a big difference between remembering and reliving. For example, something happened in your life at the age of 8, 9, which is still influencing your thinking. I have seen people getting influenced by something happened when they were 3, 4 and all. They are 57. Something happened at 7 influences them. One man came to me and said, I never go to beach, Swamiji. Even if I drive through the beach roads, I shiver, sweat. I have a panic attack. I asked why. No, at the age of 7, I went for a walk with my father. I saw murder happening in a beach and we ran away from that spot. From that spot till I can't, now I am 57, I can't go to beach. 40 years, the pattern with which he is suffering. Sometimes the past influences you so much. See, carefully listen. You are now 57, something happened at the age of 7. If you remain as 57 and visualize what happened at that age of 7, that is called remembering. Reliving means forget your present identity. Just dump it, throw it. Become that person. At the age of 7, what intelligence you had, how you were, visualize and become that person. Enter into that person's physiological, psychological frame. Take few minutes and meditate on that person. Become that person. Then relive. When you relive, all the powerlessness accumulated in your nervous system during that incident, it may be emotional suppression or the identity crisis, various guilt, pain, suffering, it will all just break, collapse and leave your system. Your system will be clean. System will be cleansed. When the effect of your past is reduced on your existence, you will not reproduce it as it is or in an altered way on your future. Neither reproducing as it is nor reproducing in altered way is liberation. You may ask, then I will not do anything in the future? No, you will do a lot. But not as an altered expression of the past, but liberated expression from the past. The liberated expression means even if you make money, you will do it just to enjoy, celebrate. But if you are making money because you have been teased as a poor, because you have been challenged as a poor, because you have an identity crisis as a poor, even if you become rich, you will continue to suffer. I have seen many moneyed poor people. Understand? Paradoxical word. Moneyed poor people. Poor are